Thesis statements, writing workshop number 3. Okay, so this week we're going to be studying thesis statements and how to write them. So a clear, organized, and unified piece of writing has to have a central or controlling idea. Just as every paragraph needs a topic sentence, every essay needs a thesis statement. A thesis statement is a sentence that states the argument you will be making about your topic. So the thesis statement is what tells the reader what they're going to be reading in your essay. It tells them the main idea. Steps to writing a thesis. So first, you have to choose a topic. A topic is the subject you will be writing about. A topic may be assigned to you by your teacher, or it may be framed as a question that you must answer. An example, write about the theme of love in Romeo and Juliet. So that would be a topic assigned to you. Why is YouTube so popular? That would be a question. For both of these, you would have to come up with an argument. So an arguable statement that you're going to then research and write about. Second, research. Research may include reading other texts, reflecting on your experiences, and talking to others. So what your research is depends on your topic. For Romeo and Juliet, you're probably going to focus on the play itself. For YouTube, for instance, you might include your own experiences as part of your background research. So research can take many forms. For instance, after looking at statistics, talking to friends, reading some online articles, and recalling your own user experiences, you might decide that YouTube is popular because of the following reasons. 1, it allows ordinary people to share both extraordinary and ordinary moments with others around the world. 2, it is free and accessible to everyone with a computer. 3, it is capitalized on the gaming community in a way that alternative platforms have not. Okay, so those might be the conclusions that you come to after doing your research. Third thing, you're going to take everything that you learned and turn it into a statement. Okay, this is your argument. Your argument will be your perspective based on the research you did. It should answer the question you started with and must be a statement that you can either prove or disprove. Think of yourself as writing a scientific hypothesis, but for literature. For instance, you cannot simply say, YouTube is popular because it's awesome. Why can you not say this? Because you cannot prove or disprove YouTube's awesomeness. Okay, awesomeness is an opinion. It's not something that you can prove to be true. You can, however, prove or disprove the claim that YouTube is popular because it appeals to an extremely wide audience and is easily accessible. That would be your perspective on what you research, the conclusion that you come to after doing your research, and you can prove it to be true or you can prove it to not be true. So now we know how to write a thesis. Let's look at what makes a strong thesis statement. Every thesis statement should have specificity, ability to be argued, ability to be demonstrated, forcefulness, and confidence. Specificity. A thesis statement should focus on a specific area of a topic. You will not be able to prove a broad topic effectively. For instance, the topics of reading and children's maturity are very vague. It is difficult to prove that reading helps children mature. If we narrow our topics, reading might become fictional literature, and maturity might become empathetic and moral comprehension. It is easier to prove that reading fictional literature improves children's empathetic and moral comprehension. Ability to be argued. A thesis statement must present a relevant and specific argument. A factual statement often is not considered arguable. Be sure your thesis statement contains a point of view that can be supported with evidence. Avoid using words like good, bad, right, and wrong, which may be interpreted differently by different people. Ability to be demonstrated. For any claim you make in your thesis, you must be able to provide reasons and examples for your opinion. You can rely on personal observations in order to do this, or you can consult outside sources to demonstrate that what you assert is valid. A worthy argument is backed by examples and details. Forcefulness. A thesis statement that is forceful shows readers that you are in fact making an argument. The tone is assertive and takes a stance that others might oppose. Avoid words like maybe, might, could, and perhaps. These words suggest that you aren't really sure about your thesis statement. Finally, confidence. In addition to using force in your thesis statement, you must also use confidence in your claim. Phrases such as I feel or I believe actually weaken the reader's sense of your confidence, because these phrases imply that you are the only person who feels the way you do. In other words, your stance has insufficient backing. Taking an authoritative stance on the matter persuades your readers to have faith in your argument and open their minds to what you have to say. Exercise 1. On a separate sheet of paper, write a thesis statement for each of the following topics. Remember to make each statement specific, demonstrable, forceful, and confident. So, for these topics, obviously you're going to have to narrow them down, and you can sort of make things up and use your own thinking here, right? So the topics are texting while driving, vaping use by minors, steroid use among professional athletes, and racism in British Columbia. So I'm not going to read through all of these, but these are examples of weak thesis statements. So now that you have read about the contents of a good thesis statement and have seen some examples, and also had the opportunity to create your own, take a look at the pitfalls to avoid when composing your own thesis. Okay, so this section gives you examples of poor thesis statements that don't meet those requirements of specificity, the ability to be argued, ability to be demonstrated, forcefulness, and confidence. Okay, exercise 2. So this is the second part that you will be doing and handing in. Read the following thesis statements. On a separate piece of paper, identify each as weak or strong. For those that are weak, list the reasons why. Then revise the weak statements so that they conform to the requirements of a strong thesis. So for each thesis statement, you can ask yourself, is it specific? Is it arguable? Is it demonstrable? Is it forceful? And is it confident? Okay, and that's that.